Welcome to the Week 8 RGVSports.com football chat, webcast, whatever you want to call this thing. I am your trusty host, I guess would be the word, Brian Sandalo, and I'm joined by my fellow football chatters. This is Todd Ordanker, the 35A dude, and then Dennis Silva, the 32-4A guy. And we're just going to jump right into it with the top 10 heading into this week. We've got Sherryland, Donna, of course, those are the top two. Los Fresnos is third. Harlingen South and Wesco East tied for fourth. Jump to 6 with Mission. 7 is Mac High. 8 is Edinburgh North. The 9, we've got a three-way tie. Economides, Mercedes, and PSJ North. And I'll be honest, the thing that surprised me the most looking at this top 10 was that Donna wasn't like a unanimous number 2. I thought they would certainly, their showing was good enough at Sherryland to hold on to that in everybody's ballot, but that wasn't the case. Todd, you were there, watched their game. Did you think that Donna played okay? I mean, they lost, but...
It was 28-28 at the beginning of the fourth quarter, and Sherryland hit on a 70-yard touchdown, and then Donna, their ensuing drive, kind of faltered after a first down, and that was it. They kind of ran out of gas a little bit. They were relying on Aldo Silva for most of the game, and Sherryland has their 4, 5, 6, 7 different guys they can go to, so they had a little bit more left in the tank than Donna did by the fourth quarter, so that kind of made the difference. But Donna's probably still a pretty good team, and I'm not going to belittle my colleagues' picks or their rankings. They're entitled to their opinions and everything. Just for me, putting Harlingen South, which has beaten next to nobody, number 2 is asinine. I haven't seen them. I don't know if they're good. They might be good.
They beat some Brownsville schools.
They did beat some Brownsville schools.
That counts.
I think my future 5-year-old T-ball team could do that too.
Wow.
Oh no, I'm kidding.
Wow.
Kidding. No, we don't want to insult Brownsville too much.
Todd is out and ready to go. And but if you do want to insult us, our ballots are on RGVSports.com.
You can do, but I mean Harlingen South. I'm sure they're pretty good. They obviously have piled up a bunch of wins, but they just have not had that one signature win yet. And those might.
They're going to get their chances.
They're going to get their chances. You got Bird Bowl next week, and then probably in Los Fresnos will be 10.
They should play the Bird Bowl on Thanksgiving.
They should, yeah, but we'll find out in a couple weeks just how serious 32-5A is. But for now, it's just kind of like, we just have to kind of wait and see. And
then Dennis will go to you, our independent arbitrator, I guess. Looking at this top 10 this week, anything jump out at you about this one?
No, I'm just not a big fan of the ties. I think.
Those are. I mean, it's a points thing. Everybody's kind of voting, and
I
it's the
get
wage.
That, but I think I'd just rather know, or I'd just rather pick one, like instead of having a tie for fourth. So which one's fourth? Which one's fifth?
Who should break the tie?
Yeah, how do
should you break the tie?
Not necessarily. I'm just saying.
I like this. I would let Dennis break the tie. He covers.
It'd be also nice. Let him talk. yeah.
But I'm saying in general. I mean, I think there should be a process as far as to break a tie. I don't know what that process is. I haven't really put a lot of thought into it. But I think, for example, we need to know instead of a tie, pick a team, South or East, or pick for 9th or 10th. Economides, Mercedes, or PSG.
We should have the RGVSports.com Facebook people, the the commenters. That would be fun.
That would be fun.
Fun.
That would be fun. Exactly.
Fun.
Fun's the right word for that.
Yeah.
But just the ties in general. I don't know what the process is. I don't even know if it's feasible. But I just in general, I'm not a fan of ties.
We have
go alphabetical.
Harlingen South and Wesleyan East at 4. So maybe after we kind of figure out they're tied at 4, everybody comes back around and says, okay, which one do you want at 4? Which one do you want at 5?
Go alphabetical, maybe.
And maybe look at strength of schedule.
How do you figure out strength of schedule?
Well, I mean, I think, for example, just looking at East, I think, I don't want to go hop on the Brownsville thing too much, but East has played probably a tougher schedule. I haven't looked at all the games. I haven't looked at all the South games. Maybe they get the nod. You know what I'm saying?
I know that. Yeah, the ties. I know that's bothersome. But I remember 2008, my first year here. Ed Couch and Los Fresnos were tied number 1 for like 4 weeks. So that's a little bit worse. This isn't that bad, but we've had ties a lot recently. Maybe that just shows that there's a lot of parity in the Valley this year. There's not a real strong hierarchy, and that's a great segue. Well done, Brian. Going into the playoff standings and scenarios, which is, of course, all about hierarchy. Mm-hmm. We'll start with Todd at 35A. Looks like Sherryland, Donna, Edinburgh North are pretty solid. Economides with a win against Edinburgh can come pretty close to locking it up, but what happens if Edinburgh Economides loses to the Bobcats?
Things get messed up. Things get interesting. If these Bobcats, who everybody kind of left for dead, myself included. All of a sudden, you just kind of forget about them. You get caught up in Cherry Lindana and all that other stuff. And they're a win away here from being in a heck of a position to get to. I mean, they win this game, they're 3-4. They go to Wars Lincoln and win that game, they're 4-4.
And who knows?
And who knows? At that point, they would hold some pretty nice tiebreakers at 4-4 over Wars Lincoln and over Edinburgh Economides. And the only team kind of standing in their way would be La Jolla Palmview, and they could potentially lose. They're going to lose to Sherilyn this week. That's probably going to happen, we can safely say. And then that gets them to 4 losses. So, if Edinburgh Economides were to lose this game, things would get mighty interesting. But for this week, North and Sherilyn could clinch with wins, and you would figure they would both be able to do that pretty easily.
Yeah, I actually think if Joey Costros can get that done, that's a pretty good job coaching by him, because he's lost some guys to Vela.
Lost a lot of guys
to Vela. A little bit of attrition to graduation, too. So if you can keep them in contention, that really good job
They came very close to beating Edinburgh North as well, back in that 8-3 game back a couple weeks ago, that slugfest. So it's a city rivalry game, so you can't, even though Economides is better, they have more talent, they've proven themselves to be better, even though they are better, and they
you throw out the records.
You throw out the records in the city rivalry game, so we'll see how it goes Friday night at the Cats.
At Cats Stadium, yeah.
We can't call it a dog pound, we can call it a Cats House.
Cat House?
Cat House?
I think
that's inappropriate.
Nah, we can't go there.
The Cat's Den?
I've never heard of a cat having a den. Whatever. Before we get in trouble, 31-5A, our 31-5A guy, Dave Van Hillis, is not with us tonight. But let's just say it's messed up. It's Mac High and West Louise tied at 4-1. You got PHA North at 4-2. You got a tie at 3-2 then with McAllen Memorial and Weslaco. Mac Row 3-3 still in it. San Benito, PHA Memorial, and PHA High are out. Or if they're not out, they're virtually out. That's 6 teams for 4 spots right now. Mac Row really has to win, seems like, to stay alive.
East Mac High looking pretty good.
Right, yeah, and PSA North in good shape too.
So they're going to be Tony V's bunch and some veteran coaches there trying to get their team for that last.
Yeah, and obviously
spot.
Weslaco holds the tiebreaker over McAllen Memorial.
They
gets to that because of that big win earlier. And but check back next week. We don't know. That district is crazy, very crazy, and now from crazy to completely sane and predictable. My favorite district in the valley, the one, the Vortex, has 6 teams in there. It's 32-5A.
How's Pace doing?
Pace is not going to make the playoffs. You got Los Fresnos. You got the 3 non-Brownsvilles. They're going to make the playoffs. Then you got Brownsville Veterans or Pace Part 2. They will make the playoffs. Not too much more going on there. Just the race for the district title. Los Fresnos and Harlingen South. Yeah, that's going to be interesting. I don't know.
We'll see. We still have our scenario from last week that if Harlingen loses, let's see the specifics here. If Harlingen,
who's Harlingen playing this week?
They're playing Porter. Well, they're not going to lose that game.
Okay, then forget that. Just throw out that scenario.
But they're 4-1, so if they get the 2 losses, yeah. If they lose the Bird Bowl, then they have to go to Hannah fighting for their playoff lives as long as Hannah can win its next 2 games.
Hannah's playing Rivera. They might lose that game.
They could, but
that's a toss-up.
We want that game. We want that Week 10 game, Hannah versus Harlingen. We want to see a good Week 10 game out of 32-5A for a playoff spot. I don't care who wins. We're not rooting for anybody here.
No, we're not.
We just want to see a good Week 10 game out of 32-5A for a playoff spot. And I think that would be fun for Harlingen to have to win in Week 10 to get in.
And now we'll go to Dennis Sullivan, 32-4A. Your district, Mission, Mercedes, Ed Couch with that nice little asterisk that we'll get rid of one way or the other on Tuesday. Actually, the asterisk would stay would stay on Wednesday. I'm sorry. And then Mission Veterans and Roma. Those are pretty much the 6 teams in it. Dennis, what's going on in your district?
It's pretty much clear cut at this point. I mean, Mission and Mercedes will probably fight it out for the district title, unless Ed Couch. But I'm sure Ed Couch will have something to say Friday when they play Mercedes. Mission Vets likely has a good grasp on that 4th spot with the win over Roma last week.
Could be the 3rd spot.
It could be the 3rd spot, but I don't see them getting to Ed Couch, or depending on what happens to Ed Couch, Roma probably sneaks in. But it's pretty much quick out Mission and Mercedes, but if Ed Couch manages to beat Mercedes, that kind of throws a wrench into some things, and Ed Couch could find itself moving up.
Possible it'd be a 3-way tie then.
Oh yeah,
Tri-district championship.
Tri-district championship. They turn into a bye. We'll get to the Ed Couch stuff a little bit later. Yeah. Actually, there's not much to get to. It's the 31st, 8 a.m. Tune in on rgvsports.com, Twitter, and Facebook. And our website will have it really quickly. So Dennis will be there, if I'm not mistaken.
I will be there, and by looking at the agenda, they plan to have to go no later than 9:20 a.m. and hearing that case.
When are they going to have the
verdict will be
wow.
by then, because after that's done, the guys are free to go, and I'm sure I'll be able to talk to some of them. So I'm thinking by 9:30 we'll be able to have something. I'm assuming, going by the agenda, I don't know if there's any flexibility in that, but they plan only 50 minutes to hear what everyone has to say, and then they'll make their decision.
Okay.
Is Joe Solis going to this?
He's going to that.
Is Gene Garza going to this?
Gene Garza is up in the air.
Okay.
Yeah.
I want to see you be there, the two of them in the same room. We'll see how it goes.
Yeah.
Okay, take your camera out, a little photo, get a little thing of video. We'll see how it goes.
Dennis, gun to your head. What happens on Wednesday?
Oh, man. I don't see how it's upheld. I don't. I think that's it. I think it is a harsh penalty. But more and more I'm hearing that if it is upheld, if it's not upheld, that's going to send the wrong message to those who are found guilty of stuff like this. So I'm 80-20 that it's not going to be upheld, but it would not shock me at this.
Something's going to happen. I'm sure they're not going to get off completely 100%.
Oh, no. There's going to be some type of consequence for this, but it very well could be that the season's done. It very well could be.
Wouldn't that be something?
That would be good for Roma and Valley View, right?
It
those two teams.
Because they still have to play each other, Roma and Valley View.
Who
They
would
would
have
actually
thought
play
that
each other next week.
Roma Valley View to be a playoff.
Anybody who lost to Ed Couch now gets a
they
win.
all get wins,
Correct.
right?
And everybody who's going to play Ed Couch gets a win.
Who's going to?
I mean, still has to play
I don't know
Ed
if they're going to
Couch.
play the game still. I don't know how that works.
But
they would get the win.
They would have to
yeah.
either get a win or the game would have to be wiped off the book.
Yeah, and I assume you play
Yeah.
your second string. I don't see why you'd play your starters in that type of
Yeah,
situation.
You might as
That'd
well
be-
play like your JV guys. You know,
Yeah, exactly. I mean, I don't know how that's going to be a funny situation depending on how this whole thing works.
Yeah, it'll be a mess either way. It's going to be quite the mess. And now we don't have quite as smooth a segue here. Well, interesting topic I was thinking of a couple days ago, and I want to run this by the guys. What's been the best city for Valley football this year? Where's the best football been?
Do you want to start with that? I think I know what you want to say, but you're not going to say it.
Well, I know where it's not been. I'm pretty sure it hasn't been in Brownsville. Pretty sure it hasn't been in Rio Grande City. And we're talking about teams with cities with multiple teams. Edinburgh 2-2. Vela kind of dragging down the winning percentage.
For these days, yeah.
Rio Grande City, gosh. Gruy has been a disappointment. A lot of people thought they'd be a strong 31.
Do we throw Roma into Rio Grande?
No.
Can't do
Neither
that?
side wants that. Why don't you just merge Mercedes and Ed Couch then while you're at it?
It all looks the same to me.
Wow. You're just a Star County. You're just anti-Star County.
Basically, yeah.
You're anti-Starite. Yeah. Wow.
For Mission, we have to include Sherryland in there.
Of course we do, and
Sherryland's
I think Mission. That's where I was thinking that Mission has got to be ahead of Harlingen.
Mission Best doing okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're in.
Mission High doing great.
Yeah.
And Sherryland doing great.
And McAllen, they're doing okay.
Mac High, Mac Memorial, and Mac Row.
It's possible you have 3 playoff schools in
You
McAllen.
could. Westlaco.
Oh, I forgot about Westlaco. Yes,
Yeah.
Westlaco has Westlaco High and Westlaco East. So where are we going on this one? Where's the best place?
If you put Sherryland in with the Mission crowd, I'd go with them.
Really? I mean, that interesting. I mean, Dennis,
Yeah,
you kind of
I'd
concur
go
with that?
Yeah.
2 undefeated teams, and 5-1 and 5 and 1 and 4, and then a solid.
Wait a minute.
Patriots
What about
team.
Harlingen? What about Harlingen?
What about Harlingen?
Well, we've
What
got
about
Harlingen.
Harlingen?
Well, Harlingen High and Harlingen South are going to go 2 for 2 in the playoffs. South could win the district, and then Harlingen they're okay. They're 4-1.
Yeah, but all 4 of those wins in that district of theirs. And I'm sorry, it's just a weak district, and we faced this when I was in Laredo a lot. It is what it is. You're just in a weak district. You're going to get knocked against.
And they're not even that good, Harlingen, is it?
Probably not.
Well, is everyone okay over in Harlingen? I mean,
I don't know. You can call a few of our friends over there to see how they're doing.
I'm gonna have to take a trip over there to make sure that the roads haven't cratered in.
I don't know if they would like you after some of the things you were saying about them previously.
They'll get over it
in other conversations.
It's all in love. It's all meant to set in love. I just want to kind of poke and prod at those people. Maybe poke the bear a little bit.
You do poke and prod.
I do poke and prod, but the tough year. But I think Harlingen could have an argument. But you're right, Mission probably is the best place to go this year, and but not Brownsville.
No,
We'll just go with that.
I've been there for 2 years. It's a nice place, good people. football's a little down.
Yeah, but there was a couple years where I guess Hannah and Pace were going against each other for the district title. I guess this year's not that year.
Not in the cards.
not in the cards. No. I guess if you're getting outscored 416-14, like you are if you're Pace, it's not going to happen.
Well, good job, Brownsville School Board. Another one down.
Well done, yeah. And Porter.
Well done, guys.
Yeah, well done. Just nice job. We applaud you for your efforts to protect this.
And I'm sure they'll think about getting rid of Hector Garcia this year. And I'm sure it's his fault that Porter can't.
It's their fault.
Well, get another compadre in there. Nice job, Brownsville.
And now let's just move on. Let's just go on a little bit.
Before we start insulting more school board members.
Okay. Let's go. Games to watch. Todd, I know your district isn't quite the glamour district that
Not
it was,
this week.
But give me one game that we should be.
Sherilyn and Donna can't play again?
No. It's not 2 out of 3.
No, unfortunately not. Well, Sherilyn's playing Palmview. They should roll in that one. Donna's playing La Jolla. They should roll in that one.
Right.
Edinburgh North playing Edinburgh Vella.
Should roll
in that one. So by process of elimination, we got the all Edinburgh game, Conobetes and Edinburgh High.
What the Edinburgh Conobetes running game going to be enough to knock down the resurgent Bobcats?
I would think so. But Bobcats defense, believe it or not, now up to number 4 in the district.
Wow.
Not sure how that happened, but
are you sure your stats are right?
I mean, I was not raised as a math whiz, but
we know that.
I'm pretty sure that's right. It could be an ugly game. That's probably the way Edinburgh High wants to play it. I would figure Conobetes is going to win this one, but it's a city game.
Might be a low-scoring game, like 17-6.
It could be.
Might see a weird score come out of that game.
The only thing I could go with that game is you got to go with the North Edinburgh High game. And on paper, that should have been a lopsided matchup. That one wound up being 8-3.
Maybe Edinburgh will just muck it up a little bit.
So, we'll see. I know nobody on the Conobetes side is taking this one for granted.
Of course not. Now, moving on, of course, 31-5A. I guess just Wesco High, Mac High is a pretty interesting game for me. Wesco jumped out to that 3-0 start. Looked like they'd be
they need a win.
Looked like was it 2-0 or 3-0?
2-0.
It was a 2-0 start, but 3-1. Looked like they would be the team to beat in that district. They've sputtered a bit recently. Now remember, they've lost all of their big games this year. They've lost to Donna, Ed Couch, and now Wesco East.
It's not good.
And then Mac High is tied at the top of that district. Of course, they don't hold the tiebreaker, though, with East.
They suffered a tough injury, though.
Right. Oh, yes, that's right. Our agate clerk, we call him Bananas, Jose. What's his last name? I actually don't know it. I'm sorry.
Just Bananas.
Bananas, yes. One of their linebackers apparently is out for a little bit. Bananas, if you listen to this, hope you're feeling better.
Doesn't listen to
this. And we hope to see you at work again sometime soon, man. We kind of struggling without you on Tuesday and Saturdays, but best wishes to you. And now,
but I like Mac High. Mac High figures.
Yeah, Mac High, you think will win this game? Of course, Wesco. These teams haven't played each other since 2007.
Oh, okay.
If I'm not mistaken, that was when Mishak Rivas took over. I was at that game, so I remember it.
All right, that's great.
At the old Bobby Lucky Stadium.
Enough with your stories.
Whatever, yes.
32-5A.
32-5A. Hey, who's the host here, all right? Los Fresnos Brownsville Veterans.
Another chance for Brownsville bets.
Will a Brownsville team win a district game against a non-Brownsville team?
Hasn't happened yet.
Dennis, will it happen?
No.
So this is basically, back in your old days, this is like Laredo Cigarella facing like Del Rio or something like that. It's just not going to happen.
Or San Antonio Southwest or Eagle Pass or something like that, yeah.
It's just not going to happen.
Equivalent, yeah.
But this is the best team out of Brownsville.
Hey, they're the city champs.
It's a home game. It's a Saturday. Crazy things happen on Sam Stadium.
And Veterans isn't bad. Veterans is probably a lot of what Pace probably should be.
Hey, I remember 2 years ago, Los Fresnos went into Sam Stadium on a Thursday and lost to Hannah, which was like 0-5 or 0-6 at that point, and that was Hannah's only win. And that Los Fresnos team made the playoffs.
And
so you never know.
Vets is better than that.
And Vets is better than Hannah. But Los Fresnos is a lot better now than they were 2 years ago. So
we'll keep that in mind.
Just anything can happen when you get to Sam Stadium, specifically on a Thursday or Saturday. Crazy things happen there.
Okay,
the football gods work in mysterious ways.
It's funny that the football gods are spending their time there.
But we like Los Fresnos to win this one, I would assume, right?
I'd be picking Los Fresnos.
Okay.
Now, of course, I think a game that has a lot of storylines, one that in all seriousness is a really interesting game you're going to be at Friday night. Mercedes at Ed Couch Elsa. Dennis, there's a ton of storylines here. Run it down for us.
Man, where do you start? First of all, there's Mercedes 4-0 in district. Ed Couch 3-1. There's that. Ed Couch can throw a wrench in the district title race and all that kind of good stuff. Then you have Ed Couch playing its last game before finding out its fate for good next week. Then you have the people in Ed Couch who feel Mercedes is responsible for all this madness. Which they're not. It just so happens. Ironically enough, one from their own community responsible for bringing this up. But They like playing that little motivation factor and anything to get up. And you can tell talking to the players and the players, especially from Ed Couch, they do feel Mercedes is behind it. As misguided of a thinking as that
It
may
just so
be.
happens that Uribe and Mercedes are the district chair this year.
Exactly. At year one, I think he said there are 2-year intervals and stuff. So he's year one. He'll be it again next year. So there's that. I mean, there's a lot of. I mean, and just the rivalry. It started out in 1948, and it's been a close rivalry. 31-28-1. I think Ed Couch also leads that series, and it's been close and nip and tuck. So it's. I mean, tons of storylines, and it's going to be another good one Friday night.
Now, was Gene Garza going into this game?
He probably will. I mean, his son's on the team.
If Ed Couch loses, if I'm him, I'm booking it like halfway through the third quarter.
Oh yeah.
Get out of the black hole.
I know.
real
I'm
quick.
booking it to like Dallas.
So if Mercedes wins this, they're going to be undefeated, and Mission's going to be undefeated.
Well,
They play-
maybe.
And then
Mission,
they meet
because Mission's got a tough game.
Mission's got vets. I know that you look at the vets record, but that's an offense that puts up points in a hurry.
But if Mission doesn't, Vets can't score.
Well, Vince, Vince can, exactly.
Yeah, but you're probably looking at Mercedes wins this not in week 10, right, when they play?
I believe so. Week 10.
Not. Oh wow. Well, there's
We got at least won the Monitors game of the week. For that
a
week.
very good candidate. Yeah.
Quite a good candidate, and also something else. I know Mission and Mission Vets, they play each other a lot.
Mm-hmm.
What's the rivalry like there right now? I mean,
The big thing now, it's a little. There's not a lot of buzz, but it is right now because Vets is actually is good and it has developed some sort of a reputation for being good, and it's a strong offense against a strong defense. There's that, so it's blossoming. I think that's the best word.
And David
word to put right
Gilpin
now.
enjoys that rivalry. The Mission Vets.
Oh,
coach.
you can tell. He's the one who brought it up as soon as the Roma game ended, that the stands were going to be full and the kids were going to be fired up. He's going to be fired up. And, I mean, it's one of those rivalries that's not anywhere near Mercedes Ed Couch or Westco East right now, but it's blossoming and it's on the up and up.
And to their credit, even when they weren't in the same district or the same class, they played each other. To their credit, Pena and Gilpin made it very clear they will play each other every year.
Yeah.
Which I think is the way to go, Westlaco. But
Yes.
so, way to go. Grulia, RGC. It's something the community wants, something the fans want, the kids want, the media wants.
They're both programs that are very prideful and
You should always get what you want.
understanding of the community and how much it means to the people who support them.
And we support that. And speaking of that, we are, of course, very thankful for our listeners. That's Todd Orodanker. I'm Dennis Silva. And I'm Brian Sandalo. Thanks for listening. And we'll talk to you again next week, hopefully.